control and management of Nigeria's national border has been a serious concern. To deal with this situation has led to the rise of transnational crimes like smuggling of illegal goods, illegal movements of persons, trafficking of persons, money laundering, theft, kidnapping, and even terrorism. Some time ago, we heard that those who carry out this mayhem in Nigeria, they come from within the sister countries. From the immigration service, yes, I'm talking about the Nigeria Immigration Service. There is this memo that has been circulating, creating awareness in as much as the prison break that happened in Niger Republic last week is concerned. I look at escapees. They would make use of the borders. That will form a conversation this morning, even as we track the thrilling reactions around the verdict on local government autonomy. You're welcome once again to the program. Incorruptible Sam, it's good to have you join us. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. Moses Ben. A beautiful Tuesday morning. And this is your former here. And we are actually set to do what we know how to do best, which is to, talk about it the way it is. Analyze this whole thing and, make people understand better where we are coming from, which is to make things, easier. For the people. Well, a lot to talk about, just like you have read out. Let's move. Yes, definitely we have talking points, and we will do that. That's why here on Standpoint we stand while we make our point, genuine point anyway. Not looking at
genuine point.
Genuine point. That's what we make.
Interesting. Okay, I guess some we are handling a particular situation this morning. Is here with us in spirit, Sam. While we move on with the program this morning, let us go back to this current directive or move by the federal government, sending about 20 trucks of rice to 36 states in Nigeria, now instructing the governors distribute this particular palliative adequately and accordingly. Do not forget, last year, similar thing happened, and then where the government attached about 2 billion naira. No state governor has come up yet to say, okay, the remaining tranche of it, about 3 billion naira, has been given to us yet. Nobody has said that. We are aware of what trade the distribution process of the palliative then. How many truck of rice last year? How many persons did it get to? The vulnerable persons you are talking about, how will you be able to ascertain that these persons belong to this category? This is another problem. And then I feel that the government taking attention from the core issue. Today, how many percentage are we talking about when it comes to inflation, national inflation? I'm not talking about that of food inflation, a different case altogether that is counting above 40-point-something% this morning. Go down to markets. You see things keep increasing every day. This palliative again, how many persons would it touch? How would they be able to judiciously distribute this palliative? That's the interest in this issue this morning, Sam.
Definitely, and that's what any reasonable person, that's also the question the person will be asking or should be asking. It shows that, unfortunately, we have not gotten that leader that we look at us face to face to tell us, okay, this is what it is, and we are going to, get it sorted out. The last time it was Alain Dume that talked about how the president doesn't know that the people are suffering. Yeah, Alain Dume said that the president doesn't know that there is hunger in the land, that the people that go to him to talk to him, they tell him things that are not actually the truth. And I asked him also, Alain Dume, if we have a president that people that don't know how hard it is, how the hunger has actually destroyed or crippled so many things in Nigeria, that means the president is fit to be there. That's enough reason for someone to resign. It's enough reason for you to step down.
Don't you think that Alain Dume was talking from the angle of the northern region?
No, he said the president doesn't know that there is hunger in the land. We discussed that, and I reacted to that newspaper headline in our Igbo section.
All right.
And it was so annoying to hear something like that. Now, let's believe that he has heard finally that there is hunger in the land, if at all, that he hasn't heard before. Is this the way? We keep saying it. This is not the best way to tackle this issue. Instead of sharing food, I'm not even a big fan of opening the border.
Yes.
I'm not even a big fan of opening the borders for importation to keep coming in. I'm not even a big fan of that. I prefer we do the needful. We support agriculture. The rice that he's sharing now.
you.
Who said that in Nigeria that we cannot? We can farm rice and eat enough that we can even export. We know of Ebonyi State. The Ebonyi State rice. Once you mention local rice right now, the state that comes to your mind is Ebonyi State. It's not only Ebonyi State. We have the one under the previous administration, the one that handed over to Oti. They said they talked about Osikapa Abia. I heard down in Ben, the local government area, that they also farm rice. Yes, not that I heard. I saw. They have that land there. They have a particular swampy area in the local government area, very close to, if not Ibere, that area is Ibere inclusive. Now, in other parts of Abia State also, I believe they have. In Anambra, I've gone to Aguleri in Anambra State, Moses Ben, the land, they have acres of land. They farm rice. I was opportune to go to the mill myself. That was how many years ago? When I got a half bag of rice there, that was how much 1,000 naira? It was so cheap there. The only problem they have is that from there to Onitsha is very far. That is an interior village. When I mean is so inside that you even cross water. You cross water to get down to this Aguleri side. I heard also that Dangote came there, wanted to buy the area. They said no. That this is their land, they cancel. Dangote wanted to buy, then take over the mill. In Aguleri, I'm talking about Anambra State, where I've gone myself. Then, other states inclusive. You tell me that if you support these states, federal power now, support this state to farm rice that we cannot produce, or yes, farm what will be enough for us, the answer to that question is no. We can. In fact, export. The ones that we export, now we have the level of foreign rice. We have semi-foreign rice. The one there is no sand in it.
And it comes with prices, different
from
prices.
Other countries. These are things we can do. They say our own is there is sand. If you give them this support, meaning that you give them the machines, then we make sure that this rice, at the end of the day, there will be no sand. We eat our own, we export. These ones that they are going to share now, that will not even get to the people. Listening to the minister, he said to the poorest of Nigerians. But this rice, the vulnerable. But this rice, at the end of the day, will not get to these people. I can get 1 cup of rice. Yes, I might not have enough money, but I can get at least 1 cup of rice. Ben, do you know that there are some people that cannot afford 1 cup of rice?
Let alone the condiments that come with it for you to prepare 1 pot of rice.
And at the end of the day, this rice will not get to them. Why not use this money? Calculate the money they will tell us that they spent in getting this rice now. This how many trucks a load of rice? Why not use the money to do something very, very meaningful and beneficial? It is 1 year plus. This administration has not talked about agriculture. Where is the minister for agriculture? What has he or she done to make sure that we'll be very comfortable?
All right, Sam.
A lot of questions to ask. Sharing of rice is not a problem.
Nobody is saying anything. Today, sharing of rice and all of that. Let's bring in our guest this morning also to learn his voice on this particular development, even as we look at other developments in the country. We are being joined by a fellow of the Institute of Forensic and Fraud Investigators of Nigeria, fellow of Ethical Leadership of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, of course, Interpol Systems Managing Consultant, the National Central Bureau, Sachikwe Udensi. Good morning to you, sir, and thank you for joining Standpoint today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
The studio appears to be very hot this morning because of the current government's initiative talking about giving about 20 trucks of rice to 36 states in the Federation, and then instructing state governors to ensure adequate distribution of this palliative. We'll come down to that particular conversation, sir. But this morning, we want to look inwardly because I've seen flying somewhere a memo from the Nigeria Immigration Service putting everyone at alert, talking about the incident that happened in Niger Republic. Remember the prison break in Niger Republic last week? Is it that of the Kotokale prison in Niger Republic? Now, the Nigerian Immigration Service coming up to say that our borders and all of that. As a security experts, we've been fighting terrorism, of course, not just in Nigeria. What does this alert or notice of alert mean at this point in time?
Very dangerous, enormously dangerous. I received that letter on the 13th. That letter was written on the 12th and circulated. It came to our office, the Interpol office, on the 13th. But we realized that that event happened in Niger Republic on the 2nd of this month. So almost 10 days after the event happening, that is when our authorities are writing letters to make sure that our borders are safe. Can you see how unserious we are in almost everything? More than 10 days after the event happened? It is very, very unfortunate. You don't also forget that our borders are very porous, extremely very porous. In that area of the northern area where Nigeria borders with Niger Republic, it has remained a very porous area. In fact, there are no demarcations. There are no borders. The Katokale prison is a very notorious prison. It is known to be where hardened criminals, terrorists, very established bandits, that is where they are being kept. And we are being told that on the 2nd of this month, that the place was ravaged. There was a prison break. The whole place was broken open. And the whole dangerous prisoners escaped. You and I know that when our borders are that porous, when a prisoner breaks away from a porous border, or breaks away from a country, it looks for a porous border. It looks for areas of escape. You and I know that our country, Nigeria, remains a very great haven for criminals. A criminal can remain in the border, in the forest. Everybody knows they're in the forest, and nobody goes to get them.
Great heaven, sir. You come in for criminals. This is a country that has what it takes to comb these persons out, talking about this miscreant. So by that assertion, great heaven for criminals, is it not contradicting the stand or the fact that we have what it takes to fight these people?
Well, you and I know that we have all it takes to fight them. We have the resources, both financial and human, to do it, but we don't have the tools. And then our human resources, the personnel that ought to do this job, are not properly motivated. Their welfare is substandard. There's no motivation. So even when you have the tools and you don't motivate your personnel very well, you may have a very poor result. But our own is double jeopardy. We have a big double jeopardy in the country. The tools are not there, and also the personnel are not motivated. It's a double jeopardy, and it's very, very unfortunate.
All right, the case of Gwoza, just a few weeks ago, of course, that led to the bombing at 3 different places within a particular place in Borno State. Of course, findings, we have not heard anything concerning that particular incident that happened in Borno. Nobody has been captured yet. I don't know what actually is happening. But also rumors have been flying that, look at, these persons, it's possible they came in and then they moved that through the Nigerian border since they could not be seen anywhere and all of that. What does these things have been happening, sir? And then it appears that, okay, nobody is doing anything about it. The agencies involved, I'm talking about people who have been managed to handle this issue, they are not approaching this thing. Where would this lead us as a country? And other countries have been looking up to Nigeria as well.
It is not that nothing has happened. We have gotten reports.
Okay.
We have been told that sabotage was part of it. In fact, the governor of the state came out to say that a chunk of it is sabotage. We have discussed about sabotage severally, especially when this sabotage comes from security personnel. It is very, very disturbing. But the truth remains that if you poorly pay people, if you pay people extremely poorly that they cannot live on what you pay them, and you carry arms and ammunition and give them to go and defend you, what do you expect? What do you expect? That is exactly what will happen in the country. The governor said that we have established cases of sabotage. We have not gotten a report from the security angle to it, but we got a report from the governor. He said that he has intelligence report that it was essentially sabotage, that is primarily sabotaged against his government and the government of the country. So we wanted to find out details as to who is the saboteurs and what is the sabotage all about. Because sabotage has a motive. If somebody wants to sabotage you, there's a motive for the sabotage. So in security, if the crime has no motive, we don't look at it as a crime. We look at it as intents and purposes. So all crimes must have to have motives. And then if you say it is sabotage, who are the ones sabotaging you? What is their intent and motive? That is where we are right now. We are not sure of what the situation is.
All right. Of course, as you've explained already, that the possibility of these escapees